One of the most common questions that I get when it comes to the Amazon FBA business model and business in general is, Andy, what is the catch? I'm just kidding, that's not the most common question. The most common question that I get, especially for newcomers trying to get into the Amazon FBA game, is how much does it cost to start your Amazon FBA business? While that is such a very common question that I personally get, there really isn't a right or wrong answer, but let me explain. What's up, Prestige fam, and welcome back. I hope you guys are all doing extremely well. If you guys don't know me, my name is Andy and I put out FBA content twice a week. Before we dive directly into this video, I do want to give a quick shout out to our last video's 30-minute coaching call free giveaway. Congrats to you, Betty Rose, for entering into that giveaway. All you need to do to claim that 30-minute coaching call is to post in the Prestige Amazon Mastermind group, I want my free 30-minute coaching call, and I will directly reach out to you, or you can feel free to directly message me as well on top of that post. But if you guys are interested in that free 30-minute coaching call, please be sure to stay till the end of this video to find out how exactly to win that 30-minute coaching call. I am giving one away each video, so please stay tuned. But back to the question of how much it really does cost and how much your initial investment should be around when it does come to starting your Amazon FBA private label business. Well, like as mentioned, it really is hard to give you guys a solid answer, and even the answer that I give you guys won't be as straightforward as you are hoping to hear, but there really is no right or wrong answer to this. So please take what I say with a grain of salt. This is just coming from my personal experience. This has come from experience of my students, and this is coming from experience of people who have been in the game as well, that are my close friends that have started their own business. So how much does it cost to start your Amazon FBA business? Now, the amount that I'm going to give you guys is a wide ballpark range, and I typically tell anyone that does ask me, it does cost about $2,000 to $10,000. Now, you guys might be thinking at this point, well, Andy, I've seen a bunch of Amazon FBA gurus on YouTube. I'm not a guru, just to throw that out there. But I've seen a bunch of Amazon gurus and YouTube content creators on Amazon FBA specific topics that tell you, no, you can start your Amazon FBA private label business for $500 or just $1,000. You guys, the reason why I say $2,000 to $10,000 is because I'm really trying to take into account the entire cost of the launch process and the shipment and advertisements and everything and all the little fees that go into it. So most people that say it does cost only $500, yes, that number can definitely vary. This is just from my experience, and this is my ballpark range. A lot of different costs go into different small fees, as mentioned previously. So it does go a lot into the initial inventory that you do purchase, and I'll go into that right now. One thing that I talk about a lot with my students is their initial inventory order amount. This is the initial inventory units that they do purchase. A lot of Amazon gurus and a lot of mentors will tell you, all you need to do is order 500 units, 200 units to get started. My initial unit count recommendation is 1,000 units, and I'll explain to you guys why. When you guys are first launching your product, you want to have that launch process. You want to make those initial sales. You want to kind of get to the top of the first page. You want to maximize your PPC. You want to make as many sales as you can to let Amazon know, people in this category, consumers in this niche really want my product. Amazon knows that, they'll boost your product to the top of the first page. Now, if you do happen to launch a product and it does become successful, you don't want to sell out. Selling out can be extremely detrimental to your listing, can be extremely detrimental to your business. Let's say you launch a really successful product. Within the first month, you're gone 500 units. Now, if you were to only purchase 500 units in the beginning to start with, you're completely sold out. You've done your launch, you've gone to the first page, you're making great sales, now you have no units to sell. You would slowly, in turn, just slowly drop back down in BSR, and you would, if you haven't heard of the honeymoon phase, this is something that Amazon gives to new sellers and new products, just so that it's shown to more people to see if they actually want your product. you will lose that. So you'll take advantage of that in the beginning to start, you'll sell out, and then you'll drop down in ranking. So that's something that you really do not want to do. So that's the reason why I recommend 1,000 units. It's usually enough to get you through your launch, and it's usually enough to, you know, make you realize whether or not your product is a good product. It's getting traction, it's making the sales. So let's say you do launch your product, 500 units are gone, you still have 500 units left to make the sales for the next month, and you can make a rush like production, a rush delivery. So if you wanted to make your next order, you could say, hey, I need, you know, 30% of this shipment shipped ASAP so that I can continue to have stock and inventory, and then, you know, the 70% come later. Just to maintain that inventory. So the main reason why I recommend people to have at least 1,000 units to start is to pretty much maintain sales. Yes, if you do go with ordering a smaller amount of units, say 500 units, that is a lower initial investment and a lower initial risk, but that is something that you guys will need to decide. This is just something, again, that I recommend on my end, and it's something that has worked well. Of course, you've seen previous videos, I have had failed products, and I do end up, you know, having to liquidate some extra units, but that is just part of the business, and that's part of any business that you guys get into. That's just part of the risk. But in my opinion, I've outweighed the cost and, you know, risk, and I just feel as though that 1,000 units would be best in maintaining sales, because you don't want to lose out on losing ranking on a successful product. But that brings me back to the cost per unit. So say that your initial cost per unit or cost of goods sold is $1 per unit, and that is just a ballpark range. You know, you can have units from $1 to $10 to $20 to $50 per unit. But if you are buying 1,000 units, you guys will need to multiply that out and take into account you know, advertising costs and launch costs and fees like that, and Amazon seller fees. So if your initial cost per unit is $1 and you're buying 1,000 units, that is already $1,000 right off the bat. I don't know if that's before or after shipping for you guys, but again, take into account the extra fees and costs that will increase that total cost, and this is why I give such a large ballpark range. This is from experience. Most of the time, my initial investment for a new product is between $2,000 to $10,000, and if you have a larger investment, capital to begin with, you can go into more expensive items that have, you know, potentially higher high ticket items. So if you're selling a TV or something like that, you know, you would have to invest an initial investment of maybe, you know, $50 to $100 per unit and sell them for X cost per unit. So hopefully you guys get where I'm coming from with this. Of course, you guys are welcome to adjust your initial order quantities, adjust your initial order investment. It is up to you guys, but for the most case and for the most part, you really wouldn't want to be investing in something you didn't have very high hopes for. Wow, I can't talk, but really high hopes for. So hopefully you guys have that maximum amount of confidence in the product that you are launching to make that initial investment of 1,000 units. And I promise you guys it'll pay off in the long run. It'll save you guys, especially if you guys launch a successful product, it'll save you guys in that sense. But your inventory isn't the only thing you need to take into account, which is why that ballpark range is so large, and it can even go past $10,000, right? I also highly advise you guys, if you guys haven't already seen the video how I lost $10,000, I'll try to link that up here, but I do have a video, and with most businesses, there is a risk, and of course, as a business and a business owner and somebody that has taken risks, I have lost thousands of dollars on Amazon FBA, but if I wasn't able to move past that and persevere, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. So if you guys want to, feel free to check that out. Feel free to see those mistakes that I made. But again, with the initial investment, I highly advise you guys to invest in some sort of education. It is extremely important to invest in your education before you invest in your product. You don't want to be throwing a product out into the dark, aka Amazon FBA, and hoping it sells. You want to be able to increase that chance, increase that success rate for the investment that you did put in your product. So I highly advise and recommend you to invest in your education, whether that may be a course, a mentor, you know, mentorship program, you guys know anything. Just invest in your education before you invest in your product. But again, Betty, I hope you're watching this video. Congrats to you. Please be sure to go to the Prestige Amazon FBA Mastermind group and post, I want a free 30-minute coaching call or something like that, and I'll try to find you and arrange that call with you. If you guys are interested in the free 30-minute coaching call with myself, if you guys just want to talk to me for 30 minutes, all you guys need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel to stay updated to the videos I release twice a week, and comment down below hashtag Prestige Amazon FBA, and I will be selecting one winner per video. Hopefully that's you guys, and I'll catch you guys there. But again, as always, I thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't already checked out the Facebook group, you can check that down below in the description. You can also go to Facebook, type in Prestige Amazon FBA Mastermind, and I'm sure you guys will find that group. And if you guys haven't already, follow me on Instagram. It's at @theofficialandylam. I post there daily on Amazon FBA specific topics as well. So if you guys are in the game, I think you guys will find that useful. But as always, I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys found this video somewhat helpful. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.